So, we've got a little test stream. Testing out doing Twitch. And while I do so, discuss a character kind of thing. So, what happened last week was oh, I can adjust my audio so I cannot talk that loud in person because I have a hospital worker that lives in the house and they should be allowed to sleep. But I should also be audible here. Alright. Good old insomnia keeping me awake. Good old kiddos making it so I would not possibly be able to do the testing like this during the day. And we can discuss Val from Den Thalos as I work out little tests and stuff. So, Val, I'm gonna switch screens here and get my stuff set up. Val from Den Thalos was a wizard chronomancer working with dunamancy. And this little dunamancer, the party came in to be familiar with him. Move the words, not the video capture device. And then the video capture device doesn't fall in the words folder. Ah, got him. Val from Den Thalos. There we are. Val from Den Thalos was hired the party. Party took the money. He was paying really well for a third level kind of mission thing. Needed to go explore some ruins that he apparently had hired someone else to go explore, and that had fallen through. That's all the information he gave on that. Party didn't really press for more information either. Not really. I mean, the guy was paying like 1,000 gold up front with another 1,000 after the fact. He got his Moorbounder mount. He said he was waiting for some sort of magic item to help control it. That item, I think, got delivered early, so he was ready to go. And just outside 100 miles from Asarius, they find these ruins, but there are all these traps all over the place. And, like, pit traps that, like, all over. And when he ends up next to a pit trap, someone busts out of a thing, blasts him with some magic, knocks him in. This is a character the party has not yet been introduced to. So, she, from the yelling that she did as she attempted to murder the man, they've gathered was the leader of the last excursion to the ruins that they're heading to. And she seems like she was under the impression that he had said that there was nothing to worry about, that the ruins were abandoned and sealed, and then her and some friends of hers that she had hired show up and get slaughtered. Just all of them dead except for her. And she's pretty, rightly kind of mad about that. The guy guaranteed a safe dungeon delve, just gotta watch out for traps. And instead, some hostile beasties, creatures in the tomb, taking her out. So, things the party are not aware of. The party, before, and this lady, who they have not been introduced to, he told them that he had magics to scry on the location. That he cast some spells, observed it, saw there was no threat, just send the party in, go and take care of it. He was lying and got away with the lie, and made up a story about having to take care of things there at the city, so sending her and her team over there. He and her or she came to him originally, and because he was a researcher for Den Thalos, and she was looking for artifacts of the Moonweaver, and he helped do some research, and then he saw that she was, relatively naive as a, she's a pallid elf, so she has advantage on insight, but the character doesn't have very high wisdom. So he saw an opportunity to trick her into leading an expedition to help clear out the thing. And best case scenario, she's none the wiser. As far as on her end, she'd be none the wiser. Completes the task, gets the artifacts, comes back, they continue the research. From his perspective, a perfectly acceptable outcome is she goes and sets off any initial traps, kills several of the, whatever hostile creatures are there, and then he would wait a few weeks, hire a new adventuring group, and then head in to, clean up and get the artifacts. So that's, turns out our heroes of our story are that second party that he has hired to head in. Tense back and forth. The wizard ends up getting dropped to near death. The cleric of the party pops him back up, being like, whoa, trying to stop the fight. Huge amount of indecision and back and forth happening. Well, she is just not relenting. She's just, every time she gets in action, she's trying to blast magic at him. And finally, the rogue of the party, after previously saying, hey, this guy hired us, we're on his side, why aren't the rest of you attacking this woman? When he sees the rest of the party stuck in indecision and noticing that the quickest way to resolve the scenario would just be to take out their employer. He's right there. He's at death. He can obviously at death's door. So he's just like, and be like, all right, situation's resolved. I'm out of here. Due to his own backstory and everything on that. So, I think that's mainly what I want to go over. Let me double check my other stuff.
Bud the Bugbear, champion fighter,
this,
been handed down the gauntlets of teeth smashing from his family, studded with the broken teeth of many monsters and people alike. He's just been given the mission from his family.
Okay, there we go. Which one's which? Hard to tell. Okay, source 3 is the character video.
Arkin, the shadow sorcerer tiefling, kind of swiped a really expensive artifact from my dad's place and looking for some adventure.
But I think that's relatively structured.
Borg, the orc, cleric of the Luxon. We prefer to lean on the arcana of the Luxon and bring its light to all the people. We've been gifted a beautiful artifact in a crystal bowl, but it has a curse that needs to be removed. The curse turns the wheel down.
So those will be up when running streams, whenever we take a break. Ideally, people can give a look-see, get caught up with the characters. One thing we still need to do. I've been doing character studies for everybody to get a chance to go over people's backstories and their builds and what they're planning to do. Haven't had a chance to do Erders here, the Hobgoblin Echo Knight fighter. And of course, always Apple Slapping. Apple Slapping is always fun. I recommend it. It is sticky and hilarious. It's just good times. And let's see here. And this is my interview page. I've been doing those here. I usually drop down. I have a curtain. Because, I don't know, the green screen's not going to show up for a bit. Everything's jury rigged. It's all, everything. All jury rigged together. Let's see here. So, me and the player, and then lately, or on the last one, I was last two, I was able to get a picture of a miniature that we've been using for them and kind of stick that up in the corner. I got this wide tongue, which leads to lisping, unless I'm doing a character that doesn't use their tongue out to the edge of their mouth. Because he's got an underbite. Because he had a hard childhood. And he just wanted to be loved. Sometimes an ogre just wants some affection. And that's all I'm needing. So you can pass my bridge if you can tell me why. Why my father left us in the darkness. And how Naga's hand cast spells without hands. Yeah, good times. Alright. Well, I have tested, and done some testing. And this all seems like it works pretty good. So, let's take a look and say, that's a blank screen right there. Let's delete it. I do want to remove scene 2. Thank you. Well, if you happen to tune in during this random testing and rant, cool, thanks, man. Y'all have a good time. Bigotry is bad, so try not to do it. If you see you're doing it, try not to anymore. Pretty basic. It's a pretty basic thing about people being people. That's just for me for sound testing. And turn that down.